All right, recording is happening now. And we were talking that we're gonna maybe spend 5 minutes talking about startup CSS because that is, I get what you're saying is like, yeah, there's probably not, we're not gonna resolve anything here, but this is a huge headache when we do run into it. So it'd be nice to, the profit of finding a clear path forward would be worth at least talking a little bit about, but it maybe there's just not a clear path forward. And if what Simon put together meets whatever metrics that justify us having startup CSS, I see no reason why we wouldn't just go that route, right? Is that the situation we're in? We kind of just need, we've measured, there's a metrics of why startup CSS makes sense. And if what Simon puts together beats or meets those metrics, it looks like we can get rid of it, right?
Yep, bias fraction. Do it.
Yeah. So I mean that sounds good. Has Simon finished putting together this MR? Is that the situation this is in, or I think he talked about it.
I think that MR was like a proof of concept, as in one possible approach. Because we could do that in so many different ways, right? How you split up the CSS, different approaches for sort of parallelizing them, and all sorts of stuff like that. So it's very open-ended, I think.
Yeah. Purge would be my preference. I feel like we have so much to gain if we can get that in. Yeah, it'd be nice if we can actually just prioritize this. I feel like this is actually now just like an engineering or product management decision of needing to prioritize this exploration. Would you agree? I'm going to assume everyone's nodding their heads. I can't see heads, so I'm just going to assume everybody's nodding. This meeting is going swimmingly. Everyone's in such agreement. Cool. Yeah, we can shelf the startup CSS, or how about, so that we actually did something, let's leave a comment. Man, when the mark hits the floor, sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. All right, Mark and I ran into some slight startup CSS headaches, which prompted this discussion during our FE pairing meeting. Be really nice if we could prioritize the investigation Simon started. Do you know what Simon's engineering manager is? I will find out. If you all don't have this page bookmarked, highly recommend bookmarking this page.
I can tell you it is Donald Cook.
Okay, all right. You can either have that page bookmarked or you can have Mark on the call. That's why they call it a bookmark. I'm sorry, Mark. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, having me bookmarked I'd recommend that, maybe, depending on how you implement that. But
yeah, the other option is having Mark's personal Zoom room bookmarked. That's the other option. It's like a live Google. All right. Is there any way this investigation could get scheduled in milestone planning? Oh my goodness. Does that sound okay? Does that seem like does that seem helpful? Okay, all right. Thanks. Well, yeah, I think that was helpful chat about it. At least we got to volley it, maybe. Is that a word that fits here? All right, so now let's move to this problem. So as a maintainer, it is really frustrating to have to hit the run pipeline button, which does something in the background that means it takes forever for an actual pipeline to start. Not forever, but it's 2 minutes, which feels like a long time. It's like a whole punk rock song. And then once it starts, then you probably have to refresh the page, and then now you can hit the MWIPs button. It would be nice to just do all of that in one go. It's like, I've reviewed this and approved it. The pipeline is just 6 hours old, so I guess I have to rerun it, but let me go ahead and set all of that up. I think it would be really neat to, let me go to one of the MR views. Let me check out, I think this one already has an approval. Oh, it's not gonna let me, okay. Gosh, I wanted to just quickly approve this.
I think this is an inclusion issue, actually. Like, why do we discriminate against all pipelines? I mean, they're just as good as young pipelines, in my opinion.
Sure they are, Chad. Sure they are, Chad. That's
You
fine.
would say that as an old person.
That's not, I wasn't saying it, but yeah, but it is true. I'm joking. Gosh, I'm trying to find the MR. I'm trying to find an actual like mergeable thing, but now since we have code owners, I guess that's not showing up as clearly. Kind of have to start a GDK locally. So let me just open it up so that we can. All right, this is David's MR. I'm gonna approve this, but I don't actually mean it. I've seen this MR before, but so we'll see what happens. Yeah. Sorry for the noise. Testing some things out. All right. Okay. So my idea is, what if we had start pipeline and MWIPs button here?
I mean, I wouldn't even start it with a button. I would make it a quick action. So there's no UI involved.
Yeah, so I thought about that, but there's this whole step of sometimes needing to squash and edit the commit we wouldn't be able to capture in a quick action.
Well, no, if you go to edit, you can click the squash on merge button, and then like unless you want to override the message, it's fine.
Well, we wouldn't be able to override it from a quick action, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying, I don't know. When do you need to override the message? Just let it do the normal squash thing, which is to concatenate all of them. And the first one should be ideally a good one.
No, sometimes it's not the logic.
Okay.
I think for iteration, we should just do the minimal viable thing, which is a quick action.
Yep.
Do we think a quick action is more minimal than a button?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't even have a quick action for run a pipeline at the moment, do we?
Join the call. Sorry, you were sounding really choppy.
I have to use my other microphone, which means I can't touch the keyboard or you'll all get annoying noises. So we don't even have a quick action for running a new pipeline anymore, or at the moment, do we?
Oh, do we not? We have shrug.
So there's in the thread, in the Slack thread, I pasted a link to an issue which talks about adding that quick action of running a pipeline. And I think there's a draft MR which actually implements it. Cool. But it got stalled. So that would be a good place to start.
Yeah, it feels like jumping straight to run pipeline and merge when success is skipping that one step. So maybe this is
first
so
step.
Yeah, it's elsewhere in here. It talks about there's going to be a unless it's handled specifically, there'll be like a race condition if you just have separate things for run pipeline, approve, and merge.
Exactly.
Because the merge might happen first. So if you scroll down, there is a draft MR.
Do we know?
So
does it-
there's a,
Sorry, does
sorry,
it
go ahead.
affect the order? Is that not a?
No, it seems like that's right. There would be a race condition. We'd start with the run pipeline and then make the aggregate action, which ensures they're done linearly to build on top of that.
And even if they did execute in the right order, merge, I don't think would wait for the pipeline to complete anyway. It would just say, "Oh, wait for the pipeline to be created and then merge."
Oh
So
gosh.
it's important that it's the MWPS instead.
Oh, this is Fabio. Oh, so this just got created. Oh no! And what happened? It just stopped. Do we want to just keep pushing this one forward?
Yeah.
That's the first step. Yep.
Quick actions.
You want to make sure you drop a link to this one on that other issue that you wrote to give the context.
What other issue did I write?
Well, the one where you propose the aggregate action, right?
Oh, I think that was a Slack thread. I think I just dropped it in as.
Oh, I thought you'd made an issue.
No. So I think that's just a Slack thing. Okay, cool. Yeah, so let's check out. Let's maybe rebase this branch. I feel like it's okay if we commandeer.
Ironically, the rebase branch anyhow.
That's is actually right. Well, what do you all think? Should I create a new MR or just commandeer this MR?
I'll continue with this one.
I love it. Let's do it. We're supposed to have inverted toes that encourage the stepping on and from other feet.
So disgusting.
It's a draft from at least 7 months ago. I'm gonna call that abandoned.
Man. Right. Putting this together. We're in FE pairing right now, and are really interested in this feature. So we're going to try to push this forward a bit. Starting with the rebase. Hopefully it's not merge conflicts. Nope. Wow, man, we could make so many commits at GitLab. So many commits. Look at that. This is only 8 months old. And it's like 40,000 commits. That's a lot. It's a lot of commits. Okay, cool. So this thing should be rebased now. So I'm actually just going to check out the branch locally and let's run it and see if it works. Right? That's kind of the first step.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Stash. All right. Here we go. We have checked this out. Let's run bundle and yarn. Oh
Do you
man,
try to rebase it first?
I rebased it.
Oh, you did it on UI. Okay.
Touched it, and yeah, so it should be good. Should be.
If you go back to MacBooks, Paul.
I did. Yep. Yeah.
Ugh.
I told you about my file system corruption issues, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, that was unresolvable, but I'm pretty sure that had to do with the encryption. So it was like I wouldn't be able to use the encrypted, which means I guess IT doesn't want me to probably have it then. I leave a lot of classified top secret information on my computer, and often I accidentally leave it at coffee shops and stuff. So it's really important.
You like
It's
go to the
risky.
bathroom and you put a sticky on it that says "hack me."
Oh,
With
man.
with unlock.
We've had like team members that I mean it's scary how people like if you're working at someone like you, Chad, like you're just outside.
But we have zero trust. That's the whole point of it. Like I'm as safe as I need to be. Like I'm completely up to date on everything. I'm following all the security rules. I'm cool.
Yeah.
Open Wi-Fi is fine.
But I also mean like there's the grab and run laptop thievery is seeing some of those like videos or whatever. Those can be make you a little paranoid.
You just trust any innate good of humanity, Paul. It's always
Oh,
a
yeah.
safe bet.
I don't know why I keep forgetting about how good people are. I wonder why I don't remember.
Anyway, we have a command line prompt, don't we?
Oh, yes, thank you. All right. So let me GDK start. I guess I ran bundle and yarn, so I'll start this thing.
I'm using it. We had a little London GitLab meetup, and there were three team members from AppSec. So when we were out in the evening, and 20 odd GitLabbers with their GitLab laptops and everything that's on them, so I think we felt that with 3 AppSec team members, we had suitable coverage for any attempted compromise.
That's really funny. All right. Do you all like to run this on the terminal, or do you like to click the button?
There's a button.
I like
Yeah.
to run it in the terminal so I can see what's going on.
I don't even know what button you mean.
There's this button.
Oh, that? Oh, I never knew that button existed. The terminal.
Yeah, no idea. Yeah, always do the terminal.
All right.
I tried the
I
button,
mean,
but I
my-
don't think it like gives good feedback.
My
on
quick key is
whether-
bundle and yarn and rank DB migrate.
Yeah. If you're hearing some constant breathing, that's my dog. Is a golden retriever and just begs for attention constantly. It's really cute, but it can get a little annoying. Oh, come on, we're so close. All right. So I probably need GitLab runner running too, right? If we're gonna, I don't know, start a pipeline. Maybe that's a thing.
Do you have that configured?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think to be honest, it still create the pipeline. You don't particularly need
That's
anything to
true.
pick that pipeline up. So
That's true. That's a good point. Maple, get out of
Yeah. I think that's right.
Okay, but we
You
do
don't care if it got when people said it got created.
right. We do need a project with pipelines. So why not just use my awesome project? Oh yeah, look, we've got cool pipelines. Okay, so let's create an MR here. Oh no, I'm using the new VS Code web ID, which doesn't completely work yet. So I don't have to use the web ID to make MRs. I can use other means to make MRs. I can just hit edit.
Make a branch just with 0 changes.
Oh, that's a good
my
idea.
go-to.
That's actually a freaking good idea. Okay. All right, we're leaving this now. New branch. Branch name, 0 changes. That's good. That name's gonna get out of style real well.
If you go to the merge request thing, it should have a prompt at the top. Here you go. Yeah, there you go.
Alternatively, if your project had issues, there's the create merge request button for the issue as well.
Ah, good point. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we created this thing. But maybe pipeline's a thing. Is it gonna run a pipeline? Do I need to click this button? Do I need to check out?
What are you trying to do? See if it does anything yet, or?
Well, I'd expect it to run a pipeline, right?
I think not when you create the branch. If you push something, a commit to the branch, it would, but
Yeah. So
Okay.
that is normal. That's expecting your runner doesn't run, but when you go to CI/CD pipelines, do you see it?
I think that that's because you've got an invalid YAML actually, but I could be wrong.
I mean, you might be right. Let's go
It's
to
probably got something in there that is no longer,
Yeah,
you know,
just
how
click pipelines. There you go. Yeah. So it
No.
tried to run a pipeline. That's all we
No.
care about.
no, it's 3 months ago.
Really? No, it's the fixture data.
Oh, it's because it's only a pages. It's only the pages deployment and that's only going to run on master. So I'll need to actually update the thing, which is fine. So we
Just
went.
pop a really basic script. Oh, there you go. Just
make
don't
a
call it
dummy job.
pages. Just
Yeah,
change
just
the
make-
name. Just change the name.
Change the name to, my job.
All right, with
Line through.
the sun glare, I can't see a thing. So we're gonna. I'm just gonna have to do this off of.
You can just delete the next 3 lines and that'll work.
Oh, is this okay?
Yeah, you're pretty much copying and pasting what you got below.
Yeah, I think you'll need you need to make that you need a dash in front of that to make it an array on line 5 underneath the S. And then sure, that's fine. And then delete everything below line 5.
Delete the pages stuff.
Yeah. And you could if you wanted, just go and commit this, and if there's a problem, we can stick it in CI linter if we cared, but I think this should be okay.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
Right. S is the default stage, right? You don't have to supposed to do anything else, right?
I don't
Correct.
think I should be fine.
Build, test, and deploy. Or
Oh, did you see that cool feature? This GitLab CI configuration is valid. Wow. That's cool. I can put that on my resume. I can write valid CI config.
Pipeline.
Cool. We got a pipeline. Yay. And so now pipeline. All right. What? Oh,
No stages jobs for interesting. So wait, when you if you go to the the pipeline view and do run pipeline button, does that work? Or does it get the same error?
where did the button go?
No, like go to the CI/CD pipelines view.
But there's supposed to
Yeah,
be a
you-
button here.
I've noticed
You have
that
to do
recently,
some
Paul.
fancy. You have to do some fancy configuration for the button to be there, I think.
Are you
Right.
serious? Oh no.
I don't know what it is that determines whether it's there or not. It's there on some projects that I use and not on others. So.
All right, we're gonna run this.
So that ran. So that the problem you see before seems to be something with this MR.
Yes, I agree. It's got to be with somehow how we're creating these things. It's not getting created correctly. I lost VS Code. All right. You all are lovely, but your faces are in the way. We have to try to push you off the screen. Where did VS Code go? It's like it's gone. I have to just quit it altogether.
It's everywhere. How can you like lose it?
Oh, gosh, it's not showing up. All right. Let's do this. Here we go. All right, Zoom, you're in the way too. Okay, so we ran this thing. And so let's go visit the MR actually so we can check out the actions. So pipeline cannot be created. Response error. Service execute quick action target. The service is the merge requests create pipeline service. Target project current use allow duplicate. Oh, here's to-dos.
If I were looking at this, I would like review the exact path that the run pipeline button on the pipelines tab was to. And
Yeah,
ideally reuse as much of that code as possible. I'm not sure if this is or not.
yeah, maybe we can look for other instances of this service. What do you think?
Yeah.
This is create pipeline worker.
I mean, we could just go this way, or we could start from the UI drill down. I was thinking like whatever that button does, like how high in the stack can we hook in to do the same thing that button does?
Sure, we can do that. Pipelines.
Yeah, there are a lot of ways of creating pipelines. So
That is the yeah.
trying to pick the right one. I started looking at pipeline stuff a while ago and yeah, got really lost and realizing that there's manual pipelines, scheduled pipelines, yeah, all sorts.
Yeah,
of
that button
push.
shows the UI and like, yeah, there's other information though. So it's, how do we handle that?
All right, I'm gonna see if there's like a test ID or something that I could search for on here. Yeah. No. Okay. I didn't mean to click it. That was an accident. I meant to inspect it. That was
So thinking about this more, we probably want to start with like the run pipeline button that is on an MR, however that shows up, because that's going to have all the default to run against the default source branch of the MR and everything else.
yeah.
Whereas this one sort of goes to that UI that to the branch and all of that.
So here's let me see if I can find more context where this is at. It's within a table. Its parent is a text, right? It's not this one. It's not that
I
one.
think that's on the pipeline page.
Data test ID. Parent is a text, right? Is that on the table? It's on like a pipeline page table thing, right? Oh, it must be here. Yes. Yes. This is it. Yes. Try run pipeline. Woohoo! All right. Should show security warning. Nah. Wait, but this is flipped. So if not, should show security warning. Okay. Run merge request pipeline. Great. Let's talk to the mixin. Run merge request pipeline. Service. What's a service? I'm online.
That service is, it's like an abstraction layer that
Oh,
handles the stuff below it.
yeah.
Oh, wait, oh no, you're in the JavaScript then. Sorry.
Yeah, and JavaScript land has no.
The service will be the MR service, right?
Oh, you think so? I'm gonna look for this function name then. Does that sound all right?
Yeah.
All right. Boom. There we go. API.
Oh, it's the pipeline service.
It's clearly the pipeline service. All right. Post
Yeah.
Post merge request pipeline is this API endpoint we hit. All right, we made our way all the way up. Merge request pipeline. Boom. This one. Merge request pipeline. Yeah, what is this one doing?
And is that the same thing that this RMR is doing?
I don't know. So we
Merge
want to
request IAP pipelines.
right?
That was a post to that with no parameters. What was it doing?
It was putting the project and merge request ID in there. It's pretty straightforward.
Project and ID. Okay.
So
So
let
those
me-
are the two URL parameters. There's no additional parameters.
no. All right. Oh gosh, I messed something up. Sorry about that. Here we go. All right. So we want to find what API endpoint is doing this. This is merge requests. How do I find API stuff? Chad? Need your help.
Like, is that a public one? Go to the
Yeah.
docs API page.
Will it show the controller?
If you just want to look at, well, what's our next step to try to do this? The next thing I would ask is like, is that what this MR is currently doing? And if so, like, why isn't it working? And if not, why not?
So quick actions aren't submitted from the client. Quick actions are tied to a comment, and the commenting service runs the quick actions.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Under the covers, is it like
Right. So I want
still doing the same thing? You want to see what the controller does. Got it.
I don't know how to do that.
So it'd be under like lib API, if it's a REST endpoint.
Yeah. Do you think under pipelines or merge requests?
Merge, like it'll be nested by lib API merge request pipeline. That's the path, right?
I think it's be under just merge requests because I don't. Let's see if this has pipelines in it. It does.
Can we go to the navigator, like open up the project view and drill down to it and see what else is there?
This is
Oh, there it is. Okay. You got it.
Okay. We are
The
using
great thing.
the create pipeline service.
The merge request create pipeline service.
Right. So is that what this MR is doing?
Let's see. So let's go back. All right. I'm gonna title all my MRs 0 changes.
So they modified that file. That's the second file here. And wait. Oh, the EE look at the CE version first. What did he change on the CE
Oh, this-
version? The first MR there. I mean the first file there. The release file. Anybody else hear anything?
I think everyone is muted.
Oh, okay. Did Paul drop? There
No.
he is.
I'm here. Sorry about that. Thank you. Oh,
So I'm curious, what if you scroll up to this first file that was modified, what did he change about this service?
it looks like
Yeah.
just adding some methods here of like allowed and stuff.
So permissions.
I don't think I think it's this is at the main body of it. And so this is using the merge request create pipeline service. Right?
Yeah, so apparently he's running into problems because of the to-do. Maybe we could do it async.
No,
Um,
that seems awful though.
I mean the endpoint isn't doing it, right?
No, the endpoint's gotta be synced. So maybe so we found the code and it looks like it's the right code. Are we at the to try to
Well-
debug where exactly this error is coming from?
I think so. I think that's what we want to do. So I'm
So there's
thinking
something
given a
about like
binding-
invalid config.
Well, let's just try it out. So I want to do like a binding pry. That's a thing, right? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even need to do
Yeah.
that? Can't we just look at the Rails log to see what the exception is and see where the code is before we start jumping into debugging?
Sure. So we're talking about doing GDK tail rail.
No, that ironically, that shows you nothing useful. You want to do a tail-f log. Yeah,
This
there you go.
Okie dokie. All right.
That was one of the most confusing earliest things. I'm like, really? GDK tail does nothing useful? Nope. Not really.
It'll show up there. It'll show up there.
I mean, not for your Rails log. For other stuff it does, but
It'll show up. I've seen the. I think I have, but maybe.
I think it depends.
Okay, I think you're right. Pipeline. Let's go. All right. I don't even know if we're gonna get an exception. Do I need to try to find?
Yeah, no, before you do that, and instead of restricting your tail to that, do a tail dash f everything in logs, and in another terminal do just a GDK tail of everything, right?
Okay.
But only turn that on like right when you're doing the thing, so you don't get a bunch of spam.
I've always found it helpful to do GDK tail Rails. That helps.
But it may be this may be in workers or other stuff that is blowing up.
Rails will include the Rails web and the background jobs.
All of them. Okay, cool.
I think so.
Well, there's Rails and Rails web and Rails background. Try it.
Yeah,
Either something
but
we don't.
it is still noisy. Like it's still noisy. All right.
Yeah, so I like start it and then do the thing and then immediately quit it.
Here we go. Here we go. All right. Okay. Oh, geez. I don't know. It might not be thrown in error. It's like I think since the fact that we don't get like a 500, it probably
Right, but it may log something useful or not. It's worth looking. Was there anything there?
The problem with GDK tail is that it's structured logging, which is like unhuman readable.
Yeah, shift JSON. So Rails got your own
with this-
jobs.
Are we sure this isn't in the application log
yeah.
and not the development log?
I kind of want to start stepping through. Do you think?
Yeah,
Rafa?
so-
I would normally go down the binding.pry route that Paul was
Try it.
doing the first time, because you're right, there's just so much noise in those logs that it's challenging.
So we're here and we're thinking binding.pry. I always forget though, like, how do I hook into this?
I just clicked the little gutter in my IDE and put a red dot there. Oh, snap, Paul. I can't get through appearance.
Oh man, let's look up binding by Rails. I always forget about these.
Don't you have to like? Is there like a specific GDK command that'll do it? Like I think
Like a gem,
They deprecated that, which is a pain in the backside. Used to be GDK Fin, but they got rid of it.
I think it's a gem.
What are you, Lee? Are you VS Code on Windows?
Yep, VS Code on Mac now, gone from
Oh,
Windows
yeah,
to
you're off of
Linux
Windows.
to Mac. Yeah, full circle. Although I was complaining about my MacBook keyboard after 2 months, it's already starting to, what's the word, degrade.
Paul, I'm linking some docs into the Zoom chat for you.
Oh, gracias. I think I just need to run pry. I think that just starts a pry session. Somehow it's really smart. So let me then run pipeline. Oh yeah. Did it just, it didn't? Oh, jeez, please. Do I need to do reload because I changed this thing?
I think the problem is it's not connected to the.
Yep.
It's
I
not
would-
connected to whatever you're doing.
I think you're right. So you link to some docs.
Yeah, it says something about installing pry shell. Or
Man.
and then you can use pry shell to remote connect to your thing.
So we don't need to install it because it is, I'm fairly sure it's already part of it. This is one of the ways I've done it recently, but only when I've been working with like workers asyncs. So I didn't think you needed to do it just for simple synchronous code. But yeah, if you change your pry to a pry shell and then just run bundle pry shell or bundle exec pry shell from the terminal, then it will listen.
Do you think this
Yeah, or maybe like open a Rails console.
Yeah, except it failed on me. Oh no, I did.
I'm only 60% joking, like you have every mine installed, and we have how to document that documented.
I know.
on the subpage of the
Okay,
edit
now
page.
try it. Maybe it's smart enough now. Maybe we needed a Rails to run the thing.
Ironically, like 15 years ago, I wrote a blog post about how you don't need GUI debuggers. That was back when there were no good GUI debuggers for Ruby.
Meteor's thing isn't even running though, right? Is that how you rate? Is it raise or throw? It's raise, isn't it?
I think
Rails,
they do
yeah.
the same thing, but they're different or something, right?
Oh, really? Isn't that just like, yes. Okay, so this thing is freaking running. Do I need to start pry and then gosh, I don't remember. I did this
Maybe try the pry shell thing. I don't know, yeah.
where instead of Rails, I'm on pry.
So no, so like in the code, instead of calling pry, call pry_shell. And then call
It's-
binding.pry_shell.
Yeah.
Like
And-
this.
Yeah,
Spot on.
delete your throw because we want to run the shell. And then instead of the console, run what was it? Bundle exec pry_shell. Is that
Bingo.
right, Lee?
You
Yes,
found it.
yeah,
You
yeah.
found it. You found it.
We could try that. Try
That's
that.
it.
Is this-
Oh,
Is this it? Am I installing?
No, you want a gem install. It's not in the dev dependencies?
I thought it was already there.
Yeah,
if I'm
yeah,
honest,
that
but-
enter.
maybe you just the backendy people or so, or you just have it float around somewhere.
Well, I don't use it because I use my IDE for debugging because it's
Yeah, but doesn't like RubyMine just use pry under the hood or something to?
no, they
handle
use
changes?
they use a custom fork of Ruby debug,
Ah,
proprietary.
I just trying pry.
oh, maybe it's
I think it is pry-shell.
I
Paul.
think it's pry hyphen shell. Let's do it.
We'll get there eventually, but yeah, I said to a few people, I don't know.
Oh,
there you go.
One.
And
all right.
then
I'm gonna open an MR for these docs.
go into available. So yeah, but also like it does make me wonder why have we never kind of documented how to get Ruby debugging in VS Code as well, because we shouldn't be using command line. It's
Oh, whoa, awesome. Wow, everybody. This is like next level integration of debugging tools and code. I feel so productive. Wow.
If
Okay.
only,
Yeah,
if only
you're gonna
debugging
hit some
JavaScript was this
challenges.
easy.
I'm just being closed-minded to IDEs. That is all that's going on here.
I mean, to be honest, I think I could have had to configure Ruby money faster than that.
Okay, so this is passing the merge request when we execute this thing. So I think I want to go next,
I think just step.
and then now I want to step into it when we execute. That's kind of what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're executing this thing. We've got okay, let me step into here. Can create merge.
What does,
Oh, this must be some new stuff that we made of can create the merged result pipeline for. I wonder, do you think I should step or go next?
just keep stepping.
Keep stepping. All right,
Yeah,
Yeah.
see if the guard clause triggers or not.
All right, I'm gonna go next and I'm gonna
Yeah,
next.
see if we get
Well,
into this.
let's oh, I was gonna say let's find out what some of these return before we execute the function. But
Oh, yeah.
it turns
debugging.
out
So that first one, return false.
merge
So that-
pipelines enabled. See, this is the fancy configuration I was talking about that makes the button show up, Paul.
Yeah,
What?
so that's not enabled, so that's the problem.
Oh, and do you think that I wonder if the error message is misleading. Like, I wonder if the error message is some sort of default error message.
Things like it. Yeah.
Merge pipelines. It has to have merge pipelines. How interesting.
So that seems like maybe that was the route he was going down with the modifications to the service to say, show a nicer error message in this case.
Yeah, but that's nice to have. I think we
Can we
just-
enable this and see how far we get?
Yeah, and we can not do the quick action if merge pipelines aren't enabled. That's easy, right?
Yeah, but let's enable it and see how much further we can get without debugging.
I'm gonna now hit continue, maybe.
Well, we're in the middle of throwing the exception, so we're done. Like,
yeah. So, all right, and we're at time too.
Yeah.
But here's. Oh yes. This makes sense. Okay, cool. I may try to push this forward just a little bit. I'll ping us all in the MR. But that'd be really cool. This sounds. All right.
so if you do want to use a real debugger, if you search the handbook for developer cheat sheet, there are very clear instructions on how to configure this in ReviewMind.
So I'll tell you what, I have not tried the VS Code Ruby extension or Rails extension. Is like their extensions are sophisticated and supposed to have debugging capabilities. So it's like that.
Yeah, I've been
as well. But no, yeah, I know. I'm fighting with one hand and toes tied behind my back by trying to do stuff manually. And my inverted toes. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody for hopping on.
Have a good day, all.
This was good. Adios.
Later. Bye.